Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. And what we're going to look at is oil and gas, and I put copper in the back because copper is looking good. It's looking better. And we'll go through our technical analysis. Again, this is just my financial opinion. It is not supposed to be used as advice, but let's dive in. I'll give you my opinion. So here we go. Here is crude. And what is crude telling us? We'll throw in a line here. I'm just throwing this up here. So that's not really slowing us down much. And then we got that guy there. So we broke out of this pattern here to the upside, and we're moving on. We got a little bit of resistance. That's what that wick on the top is right there. Kind of sold off throughout the day and came back down a little bit. We could head a little bit lower and do some consolidation maybe, or maybe we rip on higher. This is where it gets a little bit difficult because we did break out of this pattern. We could do a back test. We could come down a little bit and before moving higher. Tough to say, but we broke the downtrend line here, and we're probably going to zigzag higher. Natural gas looks like it wants to take a little bit of a breather. We saw that in this bearish engulfing pattern here, so this could head a little bit lower. SM Energy, we're getting the black candlesticks. I do think that we're getting a little bit tired, but depends what oil does. Depends on that. But it is looking a little bit tired. We got small little up days. They're black candlesticks. We could see a little bit of a pullback. Same with Centennial Resource Development. We could see this pull back a little bit. And Callum Petroleum's putting in a bearish engulfing. So I do think we could be subject to a little bit of a pullback before moving higher. It is coming up to some resistance. Northern Oil and Gas, we've got a black candlestick. We've got a contraction in the body lengths. So the opening and closing prices are getting closer and closer together. Usually that means you might pull back for a couple days or so. And CPG is the same way, black candlestick. We're coming into a little bit of resistance above its 52-week highs, and I think we might see a little bit of a back test perhaps. Tellurian, looking at this, I'll throw in a trend line here. The trend line, something like that. Probably like that. We came up, pulled back a little bit, and I'm just holding on. I'm not doing anything with my shares. I'm just holding on. Reconnaissance Energy Africa, another one that I do like. I do like it. If they can find a bunch of oil, it's gonna look good. There's the downtrend line there. It broke to the upside. And what I like to do here is absolutely nothing. I like to hold on to it. I bought in the dead period in here. I cost averaged in, and I'm going to hold on to it. And hopefully we get a good move higher. Hopefully they release the 2D seismic and their plans for the extra wells that they're going to be drilling. So I think recap's a good one to hold on to and not really do anything with. Now, copper. I'm getting super excited about copper. This thing is looking really good for a potential breakout. I'm looking at it, watching this thing for a break to the upside here. We're right there at that trend line. You can draw a lower line in here. I just didn't draw it in there, but it's this pattern's ready to go to the upside at any point. Looking at some of the copper companies. So I took a big picture view here because I haven't really taken a huge big picture view. Here's one right there that we're trying to break. We're trying to break that guy. And then what you can do is you can kind of come in, and we broke this pattern there. All this coming through. The big breakout, the pullback, and then I think we're going to launch at some point to the upside when copper goes. Looking at Nova Royalty Corporation. This guy is also looking pretty good at any point now. We're coming up right to its downtrend line. It's probably going to break. You can see that we popped higher here with good buying pressure, small sell-off, and you can see it contract down, and here's your dead period. We're about to break to the upside. I've purchased my Nova Royalty in here. I've kind of loaded in, so that's what I did, and I purchased back here as well. So I purchased here and through here. Taseko Mines. This is a smaller copper company. It's got a huge pattern that we're breaking just recently to the upside. There's your break. We did a little pullback, and I think this is probably going to go much higher over the years. Nice, good long-term hold there. And then we've got Vedanta, which is a copper company in India. And I'm just kind of going to draw this across here. I'm trying to see, I got some resistance through there. We got maybe a pattern through here that we're trying to find, but kind of a messy chart, but I'd say something like that. It's trying to coil up and break to the upside at any point here. So that's kind of where I would draw it. You can see it kind of, it's staying on its uptrend line here. So hopefully we can break. Here's tech resources. So I drew it from back here. You've got a break there, and we're breaking to the upside right there. So that one looks pretty good to me for a large move higher for tech resources. If copper breaks the upside, I think these will unleash the beast, is what I think. Here's Southern Copper Corporation. I put it on top of here. There's your back test, guys. It's doing a retest, and then it's gonna launch, is my guess. So this is one I do own. I own a bunch of it in my diversified mining portfolio. I bought it like here, and I bought it somewhere in here again. It's got a dividend of like 6.6%. I'm collecting a lot of these dividends on these big diversified mining companies, and it broke out, back tested, and it's going to probably take off. It's my guess. Grupo Mexico, another copper company, mining company. You draw it through here. It's kind of doing that rollover back test deal. Broke up, come back to back test, retest, and then we'll see. It may not come all the way back to the line, and we could head on higher if copper goes higher. So to me, copper looks excellent. Glencore looks good too. I forgot to throw that one in there. Freeport, FCX, they all look good. CPOX, the ETF, looks good to move on higher if copper moves. So that one's also looking like it's ready to break at any point. COPX, the ETF. I do own a little bit of COPX. I think copper is going to be an excellent play. Oil does look a little bit toppy. It could pull back a little bit. But what I'm doing is I'm not doing anything. I'm going to hold on to my shares. I think oil is going to go far higher in the future, this next year or so. And then I also think that natural gas, I think, will be strong because we're coming into winter season. We could pull back, in the near term, and then I think we'll find some steady footing to move on higher. Probably the news on Gazprom releasing some natural gas to Europe or something like that probably affected the price. But in all honesty, I don't really care about short-term news. It's the long-term trends that I'm looking at. If you guys like this type of analysis, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.